A lot of people DMing me about this one. They think this is an NCAA championships preview episode, which it's not. Like
it's not. It is, but it isn't.
Yeah, like that's not the premise of this show. This is not like the over-analyze, the preview, the breakdown. We will cover that stuff, but we've got a couple of exciting guests, and we can talk about NCAAs. We can definitely talk NCAAs until
NCAAs.
Yeah. We were texting earlier because I don't do fantasy sports. Like I don't. I like gambling, but it's like head up. Like I want to bet a line.
I'm a fantasy football guy, but
yeah,
that's beside the point.
So NCAA tournament last couple of years, my buddy Eric Siebert, who was a national champ in Illinois, he gets into this fantasy thing where you make a lineup from 125 to 285. And you can only use each seed once. So you get 1 through 10. You get 1 seed, 1 2 seed. So I was doing my lineup, and they wrestle back. The wrestlebacks count, bonus points count. So you try to make the best lineup with a 1 through 10 seed. So I sent Cenzo my lineup. He wanted it immediately, but he hasn't made a lineup yet.
It's just because I like this lineup so much.
All right, so let's.
I don't know what I would do differently.
I will probably get roasted for this just because like wrestling fans are brutal, but that's fine. Cool. That's fine. Come at us.
Who cares?
So
we'll take all the heat. We'll take it all.
Yeah. So this is the lineup so far. The 1 seed is Aaron Brooks.
AB.
No Penn State bias there. That's just I like Aaron Brooks in 184. I'm being sarcastic there, but Aaron Brooks. NCAA champ.
That would be my number 1 seed also.
Yep. Number 2 seed, Nick Lee. Maybe I'm a homer for Coffee Nick. But he was right there. Like Nick Lee could very well win, so I think he's a very good 2 seed.
And I don't even think that's a biased pick. I think that'll be a lot of people's 2 seed too. It's just like he's a proven wrestler. Everyone knows how good Nick Lee is. Nick Lee's gonna go out and compete.
And I know there's somebody DMing us right now to call me a moron for not taking Spencer Lee or Gable. To clear the air, you can't take those two.
Right.
They have been outlawed because otherwise everybody would probably take them. So Nick Lee's the 2. Now the 3rd. Sticking with the theme here.
This is where things get interesting.
This is the nail biter. Carter Starocki is my 3.
Would also be my 3.
I think he should be a 2 seed, and I very well think he's capable of winning. Kemmerer is an amazing wrestler, but I already have a 1 seed. So if I'm going to take someone, if Carter doesn't beat Kemmerer in the finals, I still love him wrestling back for 3rd.
Right. And Carter's going to – like these are guys also, too, that it's going to be hard to see. They're going to wrestle to their seed. It's
I think you're gonna have a lot of chalk wrestling this weekend.
I think so. From the heavy hitters, yeah. The guys that have established themselves. But there's there's even a lot of new names that I really don't even know, to be honest, that I'm kind of excited to see.
And that's where this gets interesting now, like 4 through 10, because even to take a 4 seed now. Already 141 is gone, 184 is gone, 174 is gone. So the 4 seed I went with was Drew Hildebrandt. I like Drew through the semis. He'll lose to Spencer Lee, and I like him in the wrestlebacks.
I think that potential quarterfinal match between him and Teskey can be a very, very good match.
And you pointed that out, and I like Brody too. Like I could interchange Brody and say the same thing. Brody to the semis, lose to Spencer, wrestle back for 3rd. I think Drew and Brody are both right there. If either one makes the semis, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
No, neither would I. And I think those are both guys, too, that are very capable of coming back, taking 3rd after that.
Yeah. The 5 seed, Rich, love it. You got to love it.
Who else?
Yeah. Who else Baschamania bias there for sure. It wasn't unplanned. Cassiope, I think, was also a good 5.
Cassiope is a good 5.
Because I think he's going to probably take 3rd, or it seems like he very well will take 3rd. So I think, and likely, especially in the back end, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets some bonus points going through. He's a big mean dude. So that was a good fight. But I went Rich Lovett at 49. Did you say you would have taken him at 49?
I don't know. So I was looking through it a little bit, and at 25, like I said, I like Teskey. Either him or Hildebrandt for me. So if I took Teskey at a 5, I wouldn't have been able to take Lovett.
Yeah.
49 about that a little bit. I'd have to kind of go through the bracket, kind of see where people are, just to get a good feel for it. But,
yeah, and now it gets really interesting because now you're talking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seeds, and you can also use 11, 12. So normally, because in a normal year, they would say just 1 through 10. This year, because no Spencer and Gable, changing up a little bit, 11 and 12.
Right.
So if you want to play along at home, you can do this with the 11 or 12 seed. 6 seed, I went with Brayton Lee at 157.
And I really do like Brayton Lee, and he wrestles hard. But he does have a pretty tough path.
Very tough.
Gets through the first round. He has a potential matchup with Ja'Cory Teamer, second round, which they've been battling for years. Gets through that, we'll have a David Carr quarterfinal.
See, and I like Carr, but
I like Carr a lot also.
But he's the what? He's a 3 seed.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's where it gets tricky. Like,
but at this weight, like, you know, you're not really going to get out of a tough quarterfinal match at this weight, really.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think Brayton Lee at the 6 is fine.
And by the way, you're also now talking 6 seed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're picking guys now who you think could either have an upset or who are going to just wrestle really strong in the matches they win, get bonus points, but it definitely gets hard here.
An interesting 6 seed could be Keegan O'Toole up at 65.
That's a good one.
I don't know. I like how he's been wrestling, but
we'll get to 65 in a second on why I couldn't take him as a 6, but
right.
I yeah, that's a great one. 197 was really hard, and I went with Rocky. Go.
I'm gonna say who I think my favorite 6 though is probably at 97, Bonacorsi.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, obviously, you know, you have to.
I'm pretty sure
restructure everything.
I'm pretty sure Eric, who got me in here, that's who he took. And as soon as he told me his lineup, I'm like, I like that. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. I think Bonacorsi's gonna have a great tournament.
Yeah, so I went with Rocky Elam. I also thought about Cameron Caffey.
I like some Cam Caffey too.
He's a 10. Again, it just gets interesting because then you just start changing like my 10. Well, I don't want to get out of order, but
right.
I like Cameron Caffey there as a 10 seed for sure.
Rocky Elam has Jake Woodley first round too, and like I'm not just Penn State biased, but I'm also, you know, Pennsylvania Whitfield biased, and I've been wrestling with Jake Woodley forever. So that's a tough first round matchup, I think.
By the way,
tough guy.
Another tough 10 seed that I think Eric took was at 65, Travis Whitley.
Travis Whitley, yeah. But
great 10 seed.
He got our boy Joe first round.
I know. That's why it's like
that's gonna be a good match too. They wrestled the scuffle last year. It was actually a pretty wild.
What was the score? Do you remember?
I think Whitlake ended up getting a late score. But it was a match though. You know, they were going back and forth. They were battling. I think Whitlake might have got some back points. Maybe Joe did in the beginning. I don't remember. I'd have to go watch it. But I know that it was I was kind of like standing up watching the match from what I remember. So I'll have to go revisit
and Joe Lee has that. I think all Penn State guys do really, but Joe has that potential to get that upset and just throw the weight into a tizzy right away. And actually my 8 seed is at 65, Shane Griffith. I like him as an 8.
I like him as an 8 too. And I mean, obviously he's going to have to win those first couple matches, then get through Marinelli.
Yeah. And again, you're talking 8 seed.
Yeah. So Marinelli Griffith quarterfinal. That's pretty wild.
If he can get some wins on the back end, because again, 8 seed, you're not like you can't pick who's going to win this weight. It's
right.
Okay. 8, 9. I had to go Kirk at heavyweight. I know he's not 100% himself or healthy, whatever, but Kirk is Kirk. He's an absolute beast. So how do you not take him as a 9?
Greg's my 9 also. Like there's no doubt about that for me. I mean, I will say going back to do want to revisit 65 real quick.
I want to revisit a couple of them. Let me say this, because so Louis Hayes is my 10 at 33.
Okay.
And we talked about it. You pointed out, I think, or maybe Eric did, Dylan Ragusin as an 11. I don't know how I kind of overlooked that. I love Ragusin as an 11. So Louis Hayes is my 10. So that's my lineup.
I think Louis Hayes is good, though. I mean, I think you can't go wrong with either one of those guys, 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Louis Hayes can definitely Louis Hayes can definitely hit the podium. But wait, hold on one second.
So what were you saying about 65?
Louis Hayes is your 10 at 33. The 11 at 33 is Anthony Madrigal, because Ragusin's a 125 pounder.
Yeah.
11
seed at 25 was Ragusin.
Right.
I'm just saying I could have taken him instead of as a 10 11 guy.
Right.
I love him as an 11 seed.
And then potentially could have had like the Santo at 33, which that would have been good too.
And it's not on purpose that I didn't have an Iowa guy. I kind of laughed afterwards that I don't. I was also surprised that I only have like 6 Big Ten guys. I'm surprised I didn't have more.
What, did you want all 10 Big Ten?
No, but I'm so Big Ten biased. Like I follow that more than anything. So I guess I was just more surprised when I looked at it. Like Rocky Elam, not Big Ten. Shane Griffith, not Big Ten. Louis Hayes, Drew Hildebrandt.
I
also gamble with my gut. Like Drew Hildebrandt, I'm like more onto now because Sarah was on here and we had a good time with her on the podcast. Like Gable just said how excited he was for Brayton Lee, and Brayton Lee's obviously so good. We saw the Big Ten. It's like everything comes
Brayton
back
Lee's
to
on
like
the team. It's all about who's been on the podcast, really.
Yeah,
so
Rich, obviously.
If you want us to pick you, come on the podcast.
Right. Yeah, it's not a hard formula. It really isn't. Like, and that's like I have every year for like the last like 5 or 6 years, I do USA Wrestling emails me to get my picks and they publish them. And I don't know if I want to do it anymore because I am so biased that it's starting to get to where like I can't, even if I think someone's going to win, I don't know if I should say it. It's getting to that point.
Hey, I'm like, that's like me, but like I'm a lot worse with that. I think all the Penn State guys are going to win all the time. But
yeah, but I get lucky sometimes. Like when you guys had 5 national champs, and I'm like, Penn State's winning all this crap. Nobody's like, oh, okay. Then all of a sudden, I'm like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, look at my picks. But I will say, back at 65, I think that potential Griffith Marinelli quarterfinal could be just deciding factor for the tournament too. I really do, because
let me go to Baschamania and put the bracket real quick.
Yeah. I think that whoever, wins that could potentially win the whole thing. And then whoever loses that potentially come in third. I'm pretty high. Obviously, I've wrestled both of them. I think they're both very good.
Isn't that wild that the 2 of the guys you wrestled in the finals
you have Mackay Lewis on the top side too.
Yeah. Marinelli Griffith as a quarter, Marinelli Mackay as a semi, and then potentially Marinelli Anthony Valencia as a final.
Yeah, I mean, bottom side of that bracket's definitely interesting. I don't know.
Jake Wenzel, you want to talk about Pennsylvania bias?
Yeah, I mean, look, if Jake and Valencia wrestle, I'm picking Jake.
Really?
I think, yeah.
Who was his one loss to this year, Wenzel?
I'm not sure. I think it was a while ago, though. I think it was beginning of the year, but Jake's he's hard to score on, and he's really good on top.
Well, and he was beating Mackay before Mackay injured out, or he's pretty good.
He's a matchup nightmare for a lot of these guys, I think.
Yeah, 65 is going to be a good weight.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch. I'm not gonna be all stressed out. Just be able to.
Where are you watching? Do you have? So people are asking me. I'm not going to NCAA's and I'm not going to the Olympic trials because I have a media credential for both. And like Olympic trials, they told me basically you have to come, you have to wear a mask and sit in a press box all day, and that's all you can do.
Sounds fun.
And it's like that's a lot of travel to literally go wear a mask all day. when it's my wife's birthday Sunday, it's Easter.
The couch will be more comfy.
The couch will be more comfy. Like my big thing, what I love about being at some of these events more than like, I like a lot of times watching sports on TV instead of being there, unless it's who I'm with.
Right.
So if we go to the Bills Steelers game, which we're going into this year,
we are,
like that's a blast. But I love watching football at home.
Same.
Like I like live gambling. I like cooking food. Like I enjoy that. So if I'm in a press box with people I don't really care about,
right? Yeah.
So I'll be in Miami for NCAAs. I've got like everything planned for like by the pool hotel. What are you doing for NCAAs?
I'll probably just be at State College, just hanging out with some of the guys that stayed back.
Well, obviously you're going to State College, but like, do you know what you're doing?
Yeah. Probably just sit on the couch and watch nationals. I don't know. That's really the plan. Like I haven't haven't talked to the guys or anything.
Yeah.
So I know I'm going to be watching it.
Yeah. No, I didn't know if you had plans with anybody. Like,
nah.
Does it feel weird to be getting ready to watch NCAAs and not being there?
Not really. Like I didn't go last year either. No one did.
But nobody did last year. That's
no
what makes that a little bit different.
No one did. So, I mean, like I've said this before, I've only ever been in the national tournament while I was wrestling in it. Never gone any other year. But no, it's just going to be like watching an event. It'll be like watching Big Tens. Same thing.
But you also, it's like watching the Big Tens this year, but it's also one of those things where, like we were talking about, you squeezing and rooting for your teammates, and now you're doing it from. It's going to be an interesting change.
During that semifinal round for Big Tens, I was a mess. I will say
it is such a high and low.
Oh yeah, I was just up and down all day. I had to freaking tell myself to relax a few times.
Yeah, I can imagine that, and I suspect it's going to be that way this week.
Probably that times 10. Yeah, I mean, they're ready to go though. But with that being said, they're ready to go. So is everybody else. Everyone's ready to go at this point.
I'm excited to talk. Maybe we're going to talk a bit more in a few minutes about NCAAs. We do have our first guest in the waiting room. Let's add her, because I'm excited for this conversation. This conversation's a little overdue.
I'd say so also. Oh no.
Do you have audio? She's connecting to audio.
I think she connected to audio.
I can hear you guys now. I didn't hear you guys before.
Perfect.
We were just saying we were excited to have this conversation. It's overdue.
A little bit.
I'm excited too. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm curious because I want to hear, like, not the whole detailed story, but I'm curious about your story in wrestling, because I feel like for me, like we keep saying in this podcast, both Cenzo and I, we're starting to follow women's wrestling more and more, because you start seeing more names, you start seeing more brands, you start seeing like the wrestling. Literally just before this podcast, I reshared Victoria Anthony's highlight reel that she posted. Like, it's filthy.
Yeah, she's nasty. She's good.
Yeah. Cenzo and I gave her OW of the Mateo Pelicone last episode.
We deemed her OW, which I think that's more important than like that official OW, if they even have one of those. But OW for us.
Oh, there's a lot of sun here. Yeah. So you're one of the women that we've been watching and keeping an eye on. And Matt McCutcheon, who one of your coaches, one of Cenzo's roommates, he's both of us. Like, you guys got to keep an eye on her. So literally ever since then, it's like, then you go out. I think you teched your way through the whole tournament this weekend, right?
There was one match that I got caught in, like almost got caught, and then I ended up pinning her. But
I hate that. I hate whenever a pin ruins up my parade of tech.
Perfect tech for a championship.
Yeah.
So it was close though.
Take me back to the beginning. What got you into wrestling?
Okay, so when I was about like 11, my dad and I used to always like watch like UFC fights and like do all that kind of stuff together, and then he was like, oh, you should go out for like jiu-jitsu or like try like that kind of martial arts. And then so when I was like 11, 12, I started doing that. And then kind of when I just like went into high school, like my dad was like, oh, you should just try out for like, the wrestling team and seeing how it goes. And then that's kind of just like how it started.
So how old are you now?
I'm 19. I'm turning 20 in June.
So you've been wrestling for 8 years.
Well, yeah.
And you're
Jeez.
teching. I mean,
Jeez.
people come on this podcast and they're like, so I started when I was 2. I wrestled before I crawled.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
I started when I was 5. I'm about to be 25.
Yeah, like I haven't like when I was so my freshman year of high school was actually like my first year of like wrestling. I did like jiu-jitsu and wrestling are very similar, of course, but like I never really even knew how to like take someone down until like my freshman year of high school. Because jiu-jitsu, I'd always like pull guard or just like jump guard and sit on my back, you know. So it was definitely a different transition from high school to now.
And I'm assuming that it was a boys wrestling team when you were in high school.
Yeah, so I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, and there wasn't.
What an amazing thing!
Yeah,
what an amazing thing to be able to say.
Yeah,
that's what you think until you go, and then you were born and raised there. It's a little different, but no, it's like cool to live out there. But yeah, when I was out in Las Vegas when I was in high school, there wasn't like women's wrestling, and there was only like a handful of girls throughout the whole state. So I was the only like girl on my varsity like men's team, and I was like the 106 pounder. But then once I graduated in my senior year a little bit, like now there's like women's like whole women lineup in Nevada. Like there's like a women's club, so there's like a bunch of growing athletes in Nevada right now for women. So that's awesome.
Very cool.
Did you wrestle off and beat a guy for the spot at 106?
That was my next question also.
Yeah, so actually my freshman year, it was me and like my training partner. We both 106. They would like alternate us a little bit, and then my sophomore to senior, yeah, I was wrestling them off. So
I love that. What was that like?
Honestly, I enjoyed it, like wrestling guys. It was definitely different.
When you're winning, of course.
Yeah, if you're beating them, I'm sure it's way more fun.
Yeah, it's definitely different because like just like you have to worry about their strength, and you have to like wrestle like, you know, a different style because they're more like they will like muscle you instead of just like using technique. So there was like different
100%.
styles I had to wrestle against guys. But I mean, at 106, they're not really like buff and like, so it's like fine.
She was she was horsing them around.
We're crying right now.
Nika's still getting down to 106 too. So
yeah. So when you started wrestling, did you start with folk style?
Yeah. So I started folk style in my freshman year, and then I got freestyle season. I would do like freestyle season like the last like 3 months, go to like Fargo Body Bar. That was my freshman year, and then I've done that ever since.
So a big topic on our show, folk style or freestyle?
Freestyle for sure.
Freestyle. Care to explain a little bit?
Sorry, Shane.
He's the only one. So he's the only one so far that said folk style, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it was Shane's
I think freestyle is just fun. Like, there's like a bunch of you like see a bunch of throws and like I don't know, and it's faster.
It is. It's a lot faster.
You can tag people really quick, so I don't like getting off the bottom either. I like to like just lay down.
I agree. I think getting off bottoms.
I believe Cenzo said the exact same thing.
Getting off bottoms super overrated. Yeah, it's just like, it's not
also,
fun. I mean, like you got to do it, but
this highlight from this weekend, like
that was sick.
That's freestyle.
You can't do that in folk style wrestling.
Yeah,
that's, you can't, but they call like a point or something like that. Like, I don't know, illegal slam. That's why. Yeah, that's why we're pro. That's why we're pro freestyle most of the time.
Yeah, well, even in high school, like so jiu-jitsu, you could like lock hands. So my freshman year of like wrestling, when I did folk style, like I didn't like that rule that you couldn't lock hands in folk style was like so new to me. I like DQ'd myself from like 3 matches my freshman year because I would always lock my hand. And so freestyle was like just so much like better, so I can like lock my hands and like do all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, you choke people out and stuff.
Yeah,
just like way more comfortable for you.
And now in college, you wrestle freestyle, right?
Yeah.
So see, that's so nice that like you're now 100% done with folk style. Everything's just freestyle.
Yeah, everything's just freestyle. So that was a good little transition from high school to college.
And now, so I didn't know this till you told me. Winning this weekend, you qualify for the Olympic trials.
Yeah.
Oh,
have you wrestled much on the senior level so far?
No. No, not at all.
I didn't think so.
Actually, no, I did
Captain's Cup.
Well, I didn't do Captain's Cup because one of my teammates actually got COVID, so I got contact traced and had to pull out.
COVID.
Yeah. So
that's right.
Yeah. But I actually did the U.S. Open in Las Vegas, actually 2019.
That
I
home
got-
crowd advantage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, are you planning on wrestling in the trials?
Yeah.
Or- Okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna like stress it because I've only done one like senior tournament, so like U.S. Open and stuff. So I don't know. I'm just gonna like go out there, have fun, see what happens, and
Yeah. So, speaking of faster, gets a little faster pace on the senior circuit also, which something I'm learning myself too. So it okay, it's just kind of like full go all the time.
yeah, no, for sure. I'm like I said, like I've always watched like senior athletes, and I watch all like the events and stuff. So it's gonna be a fun little event to go to and try it out.
It's also interesting because with the explosion of women's wrestling, you're seeing more and more talent younger. And now the women that are going through that are like on the talent of their careers, this is kind of the first time it's like young versus old. Like you're 19, Jakara, who's the top seed at your weight, 53 kilos, she's 28, 29, world champ. Like it's 19 versus 28. Like we're used to that on the men's side. We're not used to that on the women's side. Have you grown up like watching them and now you're getting to wrestle against them?
Yeah, it's for sure. Like I've always like watched like Victoria Anthony and like, like all those like top wrestlers for like USA and stuff. And I mean, I think it's going to be fun to just go compete against them. And I mean, of course I'm going to have to like treat it like every other match, and not try to like, because I do look at them, I look up to them and like I see how great they are and what they do, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to be like them one day, and like I want to accomplish the things they want to do. So definitely being on the same mat against them is going to be pretty exciting.
That would be cool, but like beating them would be cooler though.
Right.
So
we'll see what this 19-year-old body can do.
I have faith in you. So
Yeah, same. And we were just talking about it before because we were talking about NCAA tournament and the bias that I have, and Cenzo's starting to have it too. The bias for people
starting.
Well,
okay.
No.
For people on the show, you're saying.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's where I was going.
Right.
The bias for people on this show is undefeated.
Right. So you come on the show, we're picking you to win typically most of the time.
Oh, at least I got two fans. At least I got two fans going in there.
For sure.
Well, yeah, but you're like, after this weekend, you're like a human highlight reel. I mean, the number of times that one throw alone got reshared was wild. And that's what creates exposure for the sport.
I was like super surprised. Like I saw that picture, like I thought it was a super dope picture, but I was like, is it even like that good of like a throw? Like, does it even look that good to be
No, that was sick. Like that was a great throw. I need to start adding some more of that stuff to my arsenal.
No, that was like the first time I've ever even tried to do that. Like, I don't know even how I was surprised myself when I did that. I was like, what am I doing?
And that
you
was
just like suplex some girl. You're like, holy shit. You're like, check my head. Like my head's all right. Like, all right.
No, for sure. It was like definitely.
Was that before or after you pinned someone?
It was before. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the oh shit moment, like I almost got pinned, but I'm gonna pin her instead. That was after. That was after the big throw. All right. Cool.
For sure. That was right after. That was after. It was definitely weird though too, because like the tournament was like in sessions the first day. So it was like you have to warm up 2 times. You have to wrestle, like get that like pre-match like mentality going 2 times. So usually like how I go is like, oh, like I'll get like the warm up in. The first match will be like all right, and then like they'll like keep rolling the next matches.
Oh no,
but
not the NCAA or anything like that. No,
it was like session here. So you'd have to have like a 2-hour break and like a 3-hour break. And I'm like, oh gosh, this sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get used to it. It's just like they break it up like that typically so they can sell more tickets. But
even NCAA, the D1 tournament this weekend, they're doing that this year. They're splitting the first 3 rounds into 2 sessions. So it's like at 11 and 2, you have 125 to 157. And then an hour or 2 later, it's 165 to 285.
That's exactly what they did to us. It was like 101 to 136 first session, and then it was like 136 to I think it was like 195, whatever the weight class goes. Like the second session, and then it's us again, the lower weights. So I think it was like more like COVID, and like they didn't want everyone in the arena at the same time. But
well, and it's not so like the first day of the NCAA tournament this year, first round session 1's 11. First round session 2 is at 2, and then the second round first session at 6, second at 9. So they're starting the second session at 9 o'clock.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's so bad.
And then
And
Friday, the quarterfinals.
You got to cut weight after that and everything.
Right. And then the quarterfinals are at 11 and 3, and then semis at 8.
Yeah, that's
nuts. This
insane.
COVID has been.
Yeah, that is definitely insane. That's crazy.
I mean, you got to wrestle the matches, and no matter what. So it's just like you got to be ready to go.
That's kind of like how like my mentality is when like, because I usually get so nervous, but like this whole year it's like the match is gonna happen regardless whether I want it to happen or not. So I like shouldn't even be nervous because it's gonna happen eventually. So.
And you got injured and you were out last year, right?
Yeah, I got a injury in my foot. It's called Liz Frank injury. I was actually supposed to get surgery last year on it, but I decided not to.
I'm gonna look that up.
And so what? He's looking at him right now. I
am.
So then what happened? So you just gave it time and just took a little time off?
Yeah. So last year, I got injured like the first tournament. So I did one duel and I won both my matches at the duel. And then I did one tournament and I hurt it in the quarterfinals match. And then that was like it. And then I was like done. And then I did like a bunch of rehab, and the doctor was pretty much like, there's like 2 ways to go at it. Cause at that point there was like still 2020 like Olympic trials. And like my idea was like, oh, I want to go there and like just give it a shot. So last year I was like, I still want to give it like trials a shot, you know? So me and like my coaches and my parents talked, and it was like, okay, well, the doctor said that you either get surgery and you recover from it and take like the amount of time you need to recover from it to be better, or you don't get the surgery and then it'll cause you like chronic pain as you like continue to like work on it or like get older. So I decided to just
Option B.
Option B. Give me the chronic pain. That's what I always ask for.
Yeah. No, so I decided because like the Olympic trials was still going on. So I was like, oh, let's just give it a shot and like see if it will heal on its own or get better. And it did get better, actually. It really did. And then a week before, I think NAIA's last year nationals, I actually got on the mat, went live. Like I was helping my teammates train for it. And then COVID happened and everything just like kind of shut down. So
I imagine that fueled the crap out of you when you finally took a step back on the mat then.
Yeah, no, I was definitely ready to get after it. Yeah.
For sure.
I have someone hopping on that you are familiar with.
Oh, okay.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah.
Mighty Matt, how are you?
Nice.
I love it.
Very
I'd like
nice.
to be wearing my Life U apparel right now, but
It's on the way.
I keep checking the mailbox. You don't even know. Now, Peyton, did you know the deal that we made with Matt on the podcast?
About him wrestling at the Open. Is that what you're talking about?
Well,
Yes.
it was supposed to be last chance.
Last
It
chance.
was supposed to be last chance, but we'll settle for the Open.
Oh, so he didn't want to go to last chance.
Well, to his
the
defense,
story does come out now.
to his look at the mug. I love it. He's like sipping his tea. So allegedly, once USA Wrestling announced the date of the last chance, he had a pre-scheduled family vacation to Colorado.
As if he didn't know that it would be the weekend after nationals.
Oh, I think it's just, I don't know.
So-
I think that's an excuse.
And what I love the most is the Twitter fans that I didn't expect are so holding him accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I laugh every time. I think it's great. I love how excited they are for you.
I'm glad that you think it's great.
So who's more excited? You think the Twitter fans or Matt McCutcheon?
Well,
Definitely.
I think the Twitter fans for sure.
I think there's a part of Matt that's really excited to come back though. Just showcase what he got.
Yeah.
The funniest thing to me was ever since Matt came on, I've been like, look, we said this, the bias for the podcast. So we've been rooting hard for Life U. All of a sudden,
I mean, coincidentally, they won.
Yeah, and by the way, that was part of the thing. Like, it's going to be hard to win. Like, we have the talent, but they've won 9 straight. That was why he got cocky and made the deal that he'll wrestle.
Oh,
Mhm.
wait a second.
He didn't think it was gonna happen.
He didn't-
Look,
It was just,
I,
I don't know if it was Matt not having faith in his wrestlers.
I knew we were going to do it, but I
But-
said no like 10 times in a row. You guys kept pushing the pressure on me.
The funniest thing, speaking of Twitter fans, the funniest Twitter fan is your dad, who texts both Cenzo and
Oh,
I
this was great, actually.
after the 125-pound match. He's texting us saying they did it, they won.
So we thought it was official.
Right, I
and,
thought it was a
like,
done
we thought
deal.
we thought it was texted you and I was like, "Hey, congrats, man!" Like it wasn't even over yet. It was still going on.
Yeah, we
Hey, like
did that.
same thing with him too. A little
Yeah.
premature congratulations, but hey, good thing you guys ended up winning though.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's gonna be excited. So your dad told me like right after the 125-pound match to order the peanut butter and mayo sandwich singlet. By the way, Peyton, have you tried Matt's famous peanut butter and mayo sandwich?
It's his favorite thing in the entire world. so.
yeah, no, I haven't tried that, but I did see a video you guys posted, and I was like grossed out. Yeah, I think that's a little weird there.
Guys, I'm trying to move past it, and you're not helping.
I watched
don't-
that video 30 times.
You don't have any of your wrestlers down there like on the peanut butter and mayo diet.
No, I'm off that diet, guys. Come on.
All right.
All right, so Matt,
All right.
you told both Cenzo and I Peyton is someone to watch.
Yes.
Now we're watching her. We saw this weekend. Let's pull up the clip again, just for those keeping score.
Yeah.
This is just
Hey Matt, that's me. That's me to you next time I see you.
I'll see you at the open.
Sounds good.
Matt. You've been at Life U for what, 3 years now, or 2 years?
This is my
Third year. When you see talent like Peyton coming through the room, how much does that mean to you as a coach to start? Like, you're not just giving back to wrestlers, like you're helping wrestlers like her that are extremely talented, and now you're seeing them win at such a high level and like by such high dominance. And you were at a part of obviously a program at Penn State that was so freaking dominant. What's it like now being on the other side coaching and watching dominant athletes?
I think it's really cool. I mean, both on the men's and women's side, you see a lot of athletes that are doing really, really well. Watching Peyton go out there and, I mean, tech and pin her way through the entire tournament was just incredible. You don't see that too often ever. So, I mean, it was awesome. I mean, I would like to take credit for what
Take credit then. Take credit.
she's
Congrats,
been
man.
doing. I mean, the coaches at Life have done an amazing job with her, and she's been a star since she's been coming up through high school. So you kind of expect her to go in there and do that. But just watching her, you're a freshman still. Someone put something up. There's only one freshman that won a national title at NAIAs, but you redshirted last year, so you're still a freshman and you're going out there and dominating. So I'm excited to watch her compete, and I'm excited to watch the rest of the wrestlers at Life University compete here in the near future.
And now you're going back to State College end of this year, right?
Yeah, I am.
Now, is there a chance that Peyton will migrate back up north with you to the Penn State room?
After she finishes her degree, we're going to have to try and talk to her.
She's like, no. She's like, get me out of here. Hey, we have a great program up here for freestyle athletes, and our women right now are kind of crushing it. So
Yeah,
not
definitely keep that.
a
alive.
bad place to be.
Well,
That's what-
and
I think we scared her
also,
off.
No,
So-
no,
For a sec.
there was a phone call.
so let me ask you this, because it's interesting. Who was I just watching it on? Marley Smith. She's at Arizona, so she wrestles for Arizona State,
Yeah.
but she doesn't get to wrestle college matches, but she's wrestling on the program. If that opportunity opened up at Penn State, would you go to Penn State to start training there, only wrestling freestyle at senior level?
I think that's a great opportunity. I would definitely consider it. The only thing that is like the mat time would definitely, I would have to like go to.
What do you
only
mean? You'd
certain
have all the
places.
mat time. He's there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I would definitely consider that.
Matt, don't discourage her from going to Penn State.
There's nothing about me that would discourage her from going to Penn State.
You said after she finishes her degree.
Well, yeah, because I have
That's fair.
good friendship with the coaches down here, and I don't want to try and take her away.
All right, that's fair. That's just
Hey,
the Penn
that's
State
fair, man.
bias. Yeah,
That's fair, man.
That's fair.
I mean, I would never push anybody away from Penn State. So,
All right, I guess it's my decision though, right? It's mine. So
It's yours, but also,
Yeah.
also apparently Matt's decision too, I
Yeah.
guess.
apparently.
Matt went from wrestler to coach real quick. It's going to be fun watching him go back into that role of athlete wrestler.
oh my
Now,
gosh.
hey, and by the way, your coaching corner is open. When we were texting, I've already said that maybe we'll have Baschamania sponsor you. You'll be the first Baschamania RTC athlete. I'm thinking Cenzo and Peyton in your corner as your coaches.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm down for that. You know, I'm pretty good with the towel. I know when to throw the challenge brick. So
Yeah, you could do that, and I can
then
wipe
she-
it down.
she could do the
I
actual
put it in the
coaching.
Water. Oh no.
she can do the
Not
actual
that.
coaching.
Yeah, no,
I'll-
one of you has to do the
Oh.
actual coaching here.
we'll figure it out.
One of you needs to plan a blood time in there to give me a break.
Oh yeah.
Really.
We'll make a secret word so you can.
We're
just,
not
like,
in New
say it out
Jersey. We
loud.
don't plan that stuff. There goes a DM to me.
I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say about that.
To be fair, I don't follow high school Jersey wrestling, but I've heard that's a big problem in Jersey. I've heard Jersey fans talking about it. I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, I don't know either, but
I'm gonna get
Yeah, well-
DMs now about it, but
we'll work a couple in for you though, Matt.
All right.
yeah, that's not a problem. Now, have you started training for competition?
Not yet. So our guy,
Not good.
taking a
Good.
break right now.
Good.
The good thing is though, I don't have to cut the 189 anymore. It's just going to be 202 because it's.
I think you should cut to 189.
I don't think so.
When's the last time we were under 190?
My sophomore year of college.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Why not? It'll be fun. Little trip down memory lane.
I'll stop.
Now, are you planning competing at the Open end of April? Because that's like 6 weeks away.
Yeah, as soon as they announce the time.
Yeah, they've said end of April. They haven't announced the location or date yet, which they're frustrating a lot of people. And I get it because I was like chasing for last chance info, and they basically said it's COVID's so many challenges. Look at the coffee talk. Go to bashmania.com, get your coffee talk mug and tea. If you're watching this right now, you can see the mugs. Make sure to hand wash them. I do believe we sent one to Luke Gardner because he
Who else would mess their mug up?
Matt,
Who-
Luke Gardner bought a mug, washed it, and then told Cenzo, dude, the mug like washed away. You should include a note or something. And Cenzo's like,
There
didn't
is
you
a
read
note.
the note that
They're-
came with
they're
it?
like,
He's like,
there's-
oh, there was. So
He's like, I just assumed that was a thank you or something. I was like, no.
and she doesn't read it. Like, why would-
He did.
why
He's
wouldn't
like, you
you
guys
read
need
the
a
thank you?
you guys need directions on this as he's throwing the directions away. I'm like,
yeah, so it's been tough for USA Wrestling scheduling stuff, so they haven't scheduled it yet. But I can't wait. I'm definitely going to try to go. I hope it's in Vegas. That's where the Open in Vegas is one of my favorite tournaments of the year. It usually goes NCAAs because how many people go, then the Open.
and then Peyton could give us a tour of her hometown.
Yeah.
Oh
you know,
yeah.
show us the streets a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So will you guys kind of like, Matt, I know you weren't really a big freestyle guy ever.
No.
Like, will you guys kind of like reverse roles here like this next month? Like Peyton maybe show Matt some stuff, like coach him up a little bit, like teach him a little like of the freestyle ropes.
I think
Matt,
you need
this
a
is how you
little
win a
better coach
match.
for that.
We need just throws, belly to back,
Yeah.
5-point throws. That's it.
I've never thrown anyone in my life. I took one shot a match. And
Neither have I, not like that. So
Well, I
you're the
mean,
first everything.
when's a better time to learn than now? You know,
right.
Matt,
I mean,
Peyton never did that before she did that. There's a first time for everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
she's good.
You never do anything until you do it.
Good point about doing things.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Matt, we were talking NCAAs a few minutes. Overview, thoughts, predictions for NCAAs this weekend.
Well, one, I'm gonna be there, so I'm really excited about. Are you gonna be there?
No, they gave me a virtual media credential.
That's nice. That's
So-
nice. That's really nice. We didn't even get to find out who the politician was or anything like that. So
Virtual media credentials. So yeah, I'm not gonna go. We'll be in Miami. We got a wedding that Sunday, so we're just extending that. So
Okay.
I'll be watching from the pool.
So bold predictions. Bolder the better.
Bolder the better. I don't know how bold. I'm such a PSU biased person. It's not
Welcome to the podcast.
Damn. We gotta change the name. Penn State Wrestling Podcast.
Penn State Mania.
Penn State Life U Mania.
I think our freshmen are gonna get it done. They're gonna make us. They're gonna keep us in it and give us a shot. I think. I say us as I'm still on the team.
I say
That's
us
all right.
all the time.
Alumni is allowed to say us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit of a stretch when I say it, but when you guys, the alumni, say it, that's okay.
Yeah, I think. I want to see a Carter and Kemmer rematch.
I think
what I'm looking forward to.
I think most of the country would like to see that too.
Yeah. And it stinks because we grew up with Kemmer and I like him a lot. So
yeah, I mean, I actually I root for Kemmer all the time. He's I still talk to him occasionally. He's still a very good friend of mine. So that's a weird matchup for me also.
Yeah.
You shouted him out when he came to State College and he was walking by.
Oh yeah. So quick story here. Day before Big Tens, I'm downtown State College and I'm driving to Sowers, going to get some breakfast. Pull up at the red light right next to the Hyatt. Entire Iowa team walks past me. I'm getting stared down by the Hawks. So and they're getting ready to get on their bus or whatever, and I just roll down the window. I guess they heard me roll down my window, and it was just like they all just kind of stared
Hawks.
at me. Yeah, really the Hawkeyes. And then I just looked over and I was like, "What's up, Chem Dog?" And he was like, "What's up, dude?" And then I drove away. And that was it.
So Matt, your big bold prediction is the Penn State freshman.
yeah, I think they're gonna be the ones that keep us in it.
Peyton, what about you?
I'm gonna have to agree, right?
Right.
You guys
Yes.
support life.
Yes.
We're gonna have to
Yes.
agree.
It's just they have what 6 freshmen or 6 guys that haven't wrestled in the national tournament before.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think if they
That's
just go let it
nuts.
rip. I know Nick Lee, Brady Berge, and Roman are the only guys on the team that have wrestled at the national tournament before.
Wow. Matt, what advice would you have for a freshman wrestling it for the first time?
That everybody's nervous and just go out there and compete because everyone's worrying about trying to go win, and it's so much easier to just go out there and compete and not hold back. Frick, I teched one of my guys in my freshman year in the first round of the national tournament. I don't even know if I know how to tech people. But it happened because everyone goes out there and they try not to lose, and if you go wrestle to try and score points, it sounds so cliche, but it's true.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. And if I'm, giving advice too, I mean, just saying be yourself is like, what's that even mean? But seriously, wrestle how you want to, just be yourself, let it rip. And
Right.
you typically get the best results from that. So
Yeah, and Coach Sanderman's so good at getting guys ready for that. So
he is. Yeah.
He's done it a couple times before. Peyton, you're a freshman champ now. What advice would you have for freshmen going to a national tournament for the first time?
I mean, I think NAIA women's is a little different,
But you're still young.
But
and
still,
you're
Yeah,
still a
for
freshman
sure.
who won it.
yeah. Honestly, I struggle with being nervous and letting that affect how I wrestle. But honestly, Matt's right. He's told me the same thing this whole year. It's just don't just go wrestle, be you. And I think that's actually something that really helped me a lot, because even before my finals match, I was getting super nervous, and I was in the back in the dark because they kept us we can go in a back room before they announced us, and I know me, Julia Vidalian on my team, Jordan Nelson, even Michaela Campbell from Campbellsville, and Bridget Judy from Cumberland's. We were all just hanging out talking, and we were and I noticed I was so nervous, and they were like, I'm so nervous. And I like realized like everyone's going to be nervous, no matter if you're the number 1 seed, number 8 seed, non-seeded. Like, I feel like anyone in that bracket with wrestling is going to be nervous, and it's okay to like be nervous. So yeah, I guess just to wrestle like you and be you. And I think that's like the best advice that I've gotten that I would give to other people.
Cenzo, to complete the trifecta, I mean, you know something about being a good freshman wrestler. And please don't say anything that's been taken. This is,
Yeah. Good luck.
Enjoy the spotlight. You know, when the eyes are on you, eat that shit up. You know, like that doesn't happen too much. You know, it doesn't even like, I don't want to say even if you're the bad guy or whatever, but like if that's your role, own it. Like, you know, you see Gable, right? Gable's been, you know, he says he doesn't want to be the bad guy, but you know, he's clapping at guys. He's telling them, you know, come here. And I think just kind of eating that up and just like soaking it in a little bit, kind of like it helps your mental edge and it just lets you be more comfortable.
Especially in the NCAA level, like an NCAA D1 men's wrestling tournament, there's no other tournament in the world that gets more attention or more of a spotlight. I mean, you're talking 20,000 fans in an arena. Wrestling does not see that. That is the exception. Even world championships, even Olympic championships, like you don't get that many eyeballs. Like it's definitely, I've asked people all the time on this podcast about the transition from having such a spotlight. Like you go from NCAA championships, NCAA finals to like the Bill Farrell.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
so I wrestled Mekhi Lewis in the finals at my last national tournament. And then I wrestled him in the second round at the Bill Farrell months later. And there were 3 people watching the match. You know what I mean? Like it's
like, wild.
Yeah. So it's just like same match, same 2 wrestlers, just months later, it goes from tens of thousands of people watching to like probably like 30. So it's just like, enjoy it. You know, you don't get it very much.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best weekends of the year for wrestling. There's going to be a lot of great weekends because actually all 3 of you are wrestling within like the next month and a half. Only one will be wearing only one will be wearing a peanut butter mayo singlet. But
I don't know. Do you think we can get me one in time? I got a couple weeks here.
Yeah, I could get one like by the end of the week.
Oh man,
I've already been making calls and figuring stuff out on the back end to see how fast we can get it, because I know once they announce the date and location, everything else. But yeah, we could definitely get you on. 10 days is a fast turnaround, but
maybe 2 of us then. Maybe we'll save it for, you know, next cycle or something.
The real question is, Peyton, will you wear a peanut butter mayo singlet to the Olympic trials?
I mean, if they are, I must have to, right?
Baschamania.
I think I'll have to try it first, though, to like support it. Because if it's not good, then...
no, it's not going to be good.
No,
there is 0 chance you will try it and then want to wear a singlet that says you tried it.
Yeah, I have to agree. You kind of just got to throw it on and let it rip.
Yeah,
I mean, give me good luck like you guys, and yeah, for sure, I'd definitely wear it.
Yeah, I mean, and she's talking to you too.
Yeah, I'm talking to you too. So, I mean,
Matt, this is gonna be on you, pal.
I'm gonna do it.
Matt, when does your training regimen start? Like, where are your lungs at right now?
Your lungs are probably still in Pennsylvania, to be honest.
Right now, when I get tired, I throw somebody else in and go sit down. So my lungs aren't good.
So at what point are you going to start, like, I don't want you to go out there and, you know, just roll over. Like, this needs to be, like, competitive. Like,
we don't want to see you get hurt either. So
your athletes are watching you.
Yeah, that is very true, Matt. You got to keep that in consideration there.
Oh, man.
You have to compete how you coach.
Yes, for sure.
It's a lot easier to go back to my old self and talk about that rather than try and do it now. But real quick story before we continue on this. We have to talk about how Peyton got so nervous the one time that she actually couldn't feel her legs in the middle.
I want to hear it. Let's hear it.
I'd like to hear it also.
I do remember an Instagram post about that. I can't feel my legs, but neither can they. Was that about this?
Okay. That's that Matt wisdom right there.
She got so nervous that you could actually like see her because she paces when she's getting ready to warm up or like getting ready to go compete. And she was so nervous that her legs were kind of like wobbling as she was getting ready to wrestle. And she goes out there and she takes the girl down. Actually, it was the girl that she wrestled in the national finals. And she took her down. And I think you hit like a gut or two or something. You turned her a couple times. And then you went back to the middle of the mat and she just sat down.
No, I didn't sit down. I fell down. They literally gave out.
Yeah, she was.
And that was from nerves?
Like mid-match, not before.
Yes. Well, like, okay, before my match, like, I couldn't really, like, they were, like, tingling. And, like, so I would, like, try to, like, slap them to, like, get, like, you know, blood flow or whatever needs to happen to, like, so I can start to feel them again. And, like, usually, like, sometimes that would happen, like, in the beginning of the season. And then when I get on the mat, like, it goes away. Like, because, like, my nerves go away once I step on the mat, pretty much. But I was wrestling. I was, like, fine. I took her down. I did a couple turns or, like, did, I think, a gut or two or something like that. And then I got up to go to the center. And I, like, couldn't pick up my feet. And I remember, like, dragging my feet to, like, the center of the mat. And then I was, like, about to wrestle. And I looked at my coach. And I, like, sat on my, like, I just, like, fell down. Like, not fell down, but, like, I just, like, I don't know, sat, I guess. I don't know what
Fell to your butt.
And what was the final score of the match?
What?
What was the final score of the match?
It was 10-0.
Oh, yeah. I hate when that happens.
That's the worst.
Yeah, it sucks whenever.
It was embarrassing.
I know.
Probably for her, yeah. Probably very embarrassing. I mean, shoot, like, you fell to your butt, then got up, and then just texted her. Yeah, so
little humble brag there.
Mm-hmm.
We've been constantly working on that all year, and you could actually see the difference in her attitude when she was walking out in the finals. So, like,
the fact that she could walk,
she could walk. She was in the
I
finals.
actually ran out to the mat. I ran, not walked there.
Yeah, and you smiled a little bit too. Usually, so
for those listening, definitely not me who get tinglies in their legs before they wrestle. You have any advice for that?
Do I have any advice for that?
Yes, you.
Absolutely not. I have no advice for that. I don't know what happens.
Do you drink coffee or do you take pre-workout or anything before you wrestle?
No, not really. So no, honestly, now it's like a little I have like a little, my coach like always like slaps my leg before my match just like to feel them, to know I feel them. So honestly, yeah, I can't tell anyone any advice for that because I don't even know how to help myself when it happens.
She just doesn't want to give away her secrets before the Olympic
That's fair.
trials.
That's fair. I wouldn't either. Yeah.
If Jakar is listening, we don't want to give her that wisdom.
No,
so,
not at all.
Fair enough. Matt, changing topics. Life you did win this year. And you are wrestling because of it. It is a big deal that they won. How special was it to be part of that?
It was awesome. We had to get like everything to go right for us to win. The guys had to go out, and we had 10 All-Americans and 3 guys in the finals, and we felt like we could have done better. So it was the guys just went out and wrestled, and the other teams kind of sat back, and they had a couple first-round losses, which talking about Grandview, which was pretty unexpected, and that just kind of set the tone. We actually had a 184-pounder as a sophomore for us who wrestled a kid that he beat both of our guys earlier in the year, and he was one of the favorites going in. And he went out there and beat the guy from Grandview and kind of just set the tone for the tournament, which was unreal. And then in the medal rounds for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, we're down by 9. And those points are, if you win, you get 1 point. And if you get your bonus, it's 1, 1.5, or 2 for major, tech, or pin. And our guys went 7-0 with 3 pins and a major to take the lead by 1 heading into the finals, which is unheard of.
That's crazy.
Pins.
They wanted to see you wrestle so bad.
Mm-hmm. That's all it is.
To do with me wrestling. But our guys were ready. Omi did a good job of getting them ready. The whole coaching staff did. And they went out there and competed freely, which was just incredible.
And did you call Gold Bear after?
Oh, I texted Thompson the entire tournament. I wouldn't say anything other than like I'd send him like the eyes emoji.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what's the backstory there? Is that where Eric wrestled?
Yeah, he went to Grandview.
Got it. I wish I would have known that. I would have been texting him too, or tagging him in like the Go Life View.
Yeah.
No wonder he didn't like any of
He
those
was-
tweets.
Yeah.
He was a little
He
salty.
was definitely upset.
Yeah.
You're right. It was, but he called me after and said congrats and was being a good friend. So
Oh, that's
He's a
nice.
good man, that Thompson.
Sure
He's a
is.
good man.
That's our gold bear, man.
Golden Bear. Peyton, what was it like for you watching them win?
I thought I was actually at home on the couch watching it. I thought it was awesome. Yeah, he's right though. Like all of them did wrestle like super well, and they dominated every match. So it was like super cool. And then Orem, the 125 pounder that won the tournament, it was awesome. It made me have the chills, and I wasn't even there, so it was good.
Is that what fueled this throw that we keep playing on loop?
Wait, what throw?
Oh yeah,
For those
Totally.
keeping track at home, you can go to @Baschamania if you want to see it. I'm gonna play it one more time. Even
So
my
the only
wife
thing that I
commented-
would have added to that throw,
can you guys see my wife's comment at the bottom?
I can't stop watching this. So next time we throw that girl, belly to back, big toss, Ridge love it, elbow wave afterwards.
Wait, let's play that too real quick.
Mhm. That makes me laugh every time. He just seems so. It's just so pure.
It is. And for those
guy.
And for those wondering, he was waving to his mom. Shane apparently didn't listen to that episode, which I was very upset about because he asked Rich on Twitter who he was waving to. I said, Shane, go back and listen to the podcast. We literally asked him that last week. You just said he's had a busy week, and I get that because he's been everywhere. He's been announcing every tournament. That guy doesn't sleep. He's a ball of human energy. Matt, have you listened to him come on the podcast?
I haven't listened to that one
It was
yet.
so good.
I need to. I saw a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, it got a lot of good feedback. Shane is one of those guys that you listen to and you become a fan of. And then when you hear his backstory, like he's selling plasma for gas and he's like sleeping in his car. And it's like, why are you doing that? Because I love it. He's the man.
All right. So I'm going to interrupt quick. Just got an interesting text from our guy, Stat Daddy Tom Williams, who we need to have him make an appearance. Kind of funny. This is random. He just texted me. Here's a good stat. If you want it, feel free to throw it out. So no wrestler from a school other than Penn State has won by bonus in the NCAA finals since 2015, which was Martinez and Gadsden. Penn State has won by bonus 7 times since the last person to score bonus in the NCAA finals for a different school. 2016, Zane by major. 2017, Zane, Nolf, myself. 2018, Bo. 2019, Nolf and Kassar both got majors.
Wow.
So
That's a pretty dang good stat. You think that'll hold true through this year?
no.
Because you got Spencer and Gable.
Yes, I think Spencer's going to get bonus throughout the whole thing, and Gable very well could also.
Well, he just majored Mason, 11-3?
Yeah, I feel like he kind of opened up in the third period too. I feel like he could have scored a little more, to be honest.
Well, yeah, he took him down, and then I think he said it on the podcast that he's like he wanted one more takedown just so it was a major. I definitely think he could have opened up more, which is scary.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And Matt, by the way, how much do you weigh right now?
I don't step on scales right now.
Okay, but you're lighter than
Smart
Gable.
answer. Smart answer. Oh yeah.
Okay,
that?
and you're lighter than Gable, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so my expectation then, I don't know if you saw it this week. Gable put out a backflip, and he tagged ESPN saying big guys aren't supposed to. Here, let's play it real quick.
You know, I actually
There's
told
no
him that.
reason you can't do that at the Open.
No, I definitely can.
Yeah,
I will.
just so we're setting expectations, like,
That's after we win, right?
Yeah.
and we're gonna post it and tag Gable.
I can do a somersault though.
Equally impressive. You should. See, this is why I just love making content, because if I were you, I would do a somersault and literally tag him. I'd post the video doing a somersault and tag him and say how it goes.
After you win the Open.
After, yeah.
After
Well,
you win the Open.
Now, what happens if you win the Open? Do you go to the World Team Trials?
You mean when he wins the Open?
Yeah. When do you win the Open?
there's
You got to keep going through.
guys.
You have to, honestly.
Yeah.
If you win, you have to keep going.
What is it? Top like 8 go or top 6?
Top
Doesn't-
5.
Doesn't matter when you come in first.
Good point. That's a good point. Wow. What,
Top 5
so I'm gonna have to wrestle,
qualify.
like, Mark? No. Okay. It'll be 202. So it'll be like Colin Moore. We need a rematch.
You do. And I got you all day in that rematch.
Oh man.
With
I mean,
those
look,
somersault moves.
he's been training his butt off and just like stressing and stuff. And you're gonna feel so good going in there. They're all gonna be overtrained and beat down.
Right. That's a
Yeah.
good point. I'm just
Mhm.
relaxed.
Let
You're
me
gonna
give
be
you
fresh.
some-
You know how to wrestle. You've been doing it forever.
Let me give you some good advice I heard today. Just don't be nervous. Be yourself and let it fly.
Yeah.
If
you
there's
know-
one thing I'm not gonna be is nervous. So
They won't be able to feel their legs either. So
That would be hilarious, by the way, if you go to wrestle and you get nervous and you can't feel your legs, especially after calling that story out.
Yeah, I hope you fall too.
just go sit down in the middle of the mat.
Now, Matt, you're finishing school for being a chiropractor, correct?
Yeah, in December I'll be done.
So then are you going to be done coaching or are you going to try to do both?
Well, I'll move back to Penn State in December. So I don't know what the coach. I wouldn't probably have an opportunity to coach in that area. So I
might
mean,
have something for you.
yeah. Well, other than like helping out around the local clubs and stuff in high school.
But do you want to try to do that or do you want to go 100% focus on, like, you know, my chiropractor, like we have a very good relationship. He's a good friend of mine and he's at that place like 24/7. He's constantly there. I just didn't know if you would try to split time if you had the opportunity. Because I know, especially after a year like this, it's got to be hard to not want to keep coaching more.
Right. Yeah. If I had time, we'll see what it's going to take to start the practice or if I partner with somebody. So if there's time, I would definitely love to be around the sport. I mean, I love wrestling and it's how I get a workout in too. So if not, I would probably start gaining more weight. But yeah, so if I have the opportunity, I will be. I can probably talk to Cenzo and David and our Gold Bear and get in and help out around there.
That's what I was hinting at also. But
And then if we get Peyton up there after she finishes her degree, we're gonna have to start putting in a word for her with Coach Kell and Cody and Cunningham.
I'm already on it. I actually texted them whenever we started the podcast too.
Oh,
Because you know
good,
they're like they're super open to suggestions right now. I'm not worried about nationals. So yeah. So yeah, I'm just hitting them up with all kinds of different stuff at the moment.
Yeah, but she has to finish her degree first.
What do you have?
You're very, very,
Yeah,
very,
very
adamant
stern.
about that.
Yeah.
As if like you care about school or something. Like,
Yeah, right.
Peyton, what's your degree in?
As of right now, biology.
And what do you want to do with that?
Nerd alert.
yeah, that's what I was saying.
No. That's why I said as of right now.
As
That's
of
why I
right
said
now.
Are you changing it?
I don't know. I was thinking like psychology, but either between psychology or biology.
Psychology, by
So
far.
yeah, like definitely if you're gonna go with an ology, I'd go with the psych just because I don't know, that would be more my route for sure. I tried the kines thing, was not for me.
This is the weekend for that, by the way. This is the weekend you see that under every single guy's byline. Like,
Well, I think Penn State, like, so Matt, while you were on the team, it would come up like, well, when you were younger, it was RPTM.
Yes.
And now I think it's back to everyone's RPTM.
what's RPTM?
Yeah. We don't gotta talk about that. It's just like what is it? Recreational parks and tourism management. I wasn't RPTM. I was communications actually. So
Well, hey, that worked out.
yeah,
I mean,
perfect. Huh?
Look at you now.
Perfectly. Yeah.
number one podcast in wrestling. I think by far, unofficially.
If we can give us the outstanding, we'll call it OP, outstanding podcast. We give
Yeah.
out OWs all the time. So
Yeah, it's officially unofficial.
Yeah, and there's
unofficially official. Yeah.
there's some
for today.
big stuff coming up on the podcast post trials. We've got some big plans, maybe some big sponsors that have never been in wrestling. We've got some big things brewing.
I'm excited.
And both of you, Peyton, Matt, I'm going to speak to both of you because since me and Cenzo are already kind of aligning with certain brands, we're more than happy after you guys are wrestling this next month and a half to get you guys those brand deals. And, once the time is right. But, Matt, you got to win. Give it your all. And if you get that invite to the World Team Trials, you can't.
You got to take that. You're dreading winning. You're thinking about how you're going to throw that.
I feel bad for the
audio
audio
listeners. How you're going to throw that 5th place match right now. That's what you're doing.
I feel bad for the audio listeners because we just keep pausing and waiting and watching Matt's reactions. So if you're listening, there's a big pause. It's because we're literally just staring at Matt's delayed reactions as he processes winning and placing at the Open.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal. But I'm actually excited to compete again and train for something because it gets kind of boring just going through school, especially since we're out of season now. The guys won't be in the room for a little bit. So
I have a place where you can train.
Trust me, I would love to. But right now it's just finishing school, and then I'm gonna have to try and bring guys in because they're all taking a little break right now.
Well, I mean, we got the M2 training center. We got some hammers there if you want to come wrestle.
I would love to. You're cutting out a little bit for
me.
And
I'm sure after you just helped Coach Life you to victory, I'm sure a few of your wrestlers who were motivated enough to win and stop Grandview from winning a 10th straight, I'm sure they'll be motivated enough to come in and help you train a little bit. It's the least they can do.
Right. You think they would because I let them beat up on me all year.
Yeah.
Get a chance.
Peyton's in for a few. She's going to teach you how to do that throw.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
oh, yeah.
She'll be training now because we got the trials coming up here soon. And then, sorry, the dog's crying. So they'll have 3 girls here training for the trials for the women's team now, and then Vic Francis is down here as well. So they're going to be having practices the next few weeks. So maybe I can work with them and work with Vic. I've wrestled with her quite a few times this year, and then hopefully bring in a guy to wrestle with me too.
Goldie Bear.
Bringing in guys to train with you. I love it.
It's the best.
Yeah, thanks to you guys.
I wish I had more time because I'd love to just come down there and kind of play content for a week.
Me too.
And make a couple vlogs out of it. Like, the UFC embedded vlogs? I'd love to come down and make the return to Matt.
Oh, that would be perfect.
Open embedded.
I'd definitely come down too.
Right.
I'd even, work out with you for a little bit,
Need you down here.
I mean, shoot, why not? Let's do it.
Fly down.
Okay. We'll talk. We'll talk.
Yeah. Right. Hey, don't tempt us with a good time.
I know, really.
There's a reason you're competing, and it's because we like a good time.
For you guys.
I mean, if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't be wrestling anyway. So I mean,
yeah, thanks.
I'm gonna consider going down to Life U next month. So,
yeah,
we'll talk about it.
We're going to do it.
Okay.
Same. All right, final predictions. A bold prediction from each of you. One single prediction for NCAAs this weekend.
Who's first?
Anybody. Just pick. Peyton, ladies first.
Mm-hmm.
I think Matt's the lady here, right?
Oh. Wow, I love it.
No, I'm just kidding. No, Matt can go first though.
Bold prediction. Carter's gonna win it. That's my bold prediction. I don't know if it's necessarily that bold because he's a stud and has beaten pretty much everyone other than Kemmer. But
Kemmer's still so dang good though, so I'd say that's a bold prediction.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's awesome, but I think he can do it.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Peyton, bold prediction.
I really don't have one. I don't know. I can't give you one.
How about bold prediction? Penn State wins the team title.
Okay, I'll give you that one. Yeah, I do think
that was you. That's your. You just. She didn't say anything. That was your prediction.
That's all right.
I agree with his prediction, but it's mine too.
Thank you. There you go.
Okay. All right. I'll take it.
Yeah. All right, Cenzo.
Oh, it's my turn. I have to give one now.
Yeah, and it can't be. Penn State wins the team title. It can't be Carter beats ChemDog. Just made those rules up.
Yeah, just made them up. Let's see. What if I say Iowa comes in second? Is that bold? Nah. I don't know. Like, there's it's kind of hard for me because I'm in the room with all these guys all the time still. I think Robbie Howard gets on the podium.
That one.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think that I think he's gonna have a good tournament. Let's see. I don't really like. It's tough for me because I always pick Penn State guys, right?
I'll make another bold Penn State one.
What's that?
RBY beats State and Fix. Bold prediction.
I mean, that was part of my prediction anyway. Like that wasn't like I picked that. That was for me. No,
You didn't just say that though.
well, I mean, that's a 1v2.
Yeah, but that's what his was. Carter beats Kemmer. Well, Carter's technically 3, but
Yeah, but also it's like a little different. You know, Carter's freshman, Kemmer's.
What about Greg?
I think Greg's going to do well. Greg's going to place. I don't know how high he will place, considering that that's one of the toughest heavyweight brackets I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like by far, too. There's some absolute hammers there. Even like Jordan Wood's the 8th seed.
Yeah, the
Like-
rest in the round of 16, I think.
Yeah, you like Jordan Wood's a good wrestler.
Very good.
Yeah, it's that's a freaking tough bracket. I think Greg's going to do well though. Yeah, I mean, I think Mike Beard can place really high.
Yeah.
Too. I think he can do very, very well.
Joe Lee with a big first round upset.
Yeah, like I don't even. I mean, obviously on paper it's an upset, but to me, like that's not an upset to me.
Yeah, I
You
get
know,
that.
like I've seen them wrestle, but I've also wrestled with these guys. I know how good some of them are and some of them can be, and I don't know. I don't see that as a huge upset. Definitely a little bit of an upset, but I think Joe can win that first round matchup. And then Joe wins that first round matchup, we'll probably have Ethan Smith again. So
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm here for that too.
Man, I'm excited.
Matt, you wearing Coffee Talk apparel to NCAAs?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring.
Thank you.
And then I'm gonna probably bring my mug too.
Thank
I
you.
would.
I'd appreciate a nice Coffee Talk picture from St. Louis. I
Yeah.
was at NCAA's last time. It was in St. Louis. I hate not going this year, but
St. Louis is my worst nightmare
why?
because I've had bad times there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It was the one I walked
yeah.
through, there was like nobody there when we went for NCAAs. I just walking through the streets, and it was like a Friday afternoon. Nothing was going on. I'm like, do people live here? There was nothing going on, like nothing.
Yeah. Well, Cenzo's had great times in St. Louis.
Dude, so what I was gonna say was you were wrestling my freshman year, you were wrestling your round of 12 match.
Oh.
And I was wrestling my semis match at the I was about to wrestle a semis. Like I freaking take my shirt off, go on the mat, walk, and then you were start off winning. Then I look over, then I looked over, and it wasn't going great. And I was about to wrestle, and I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like I had a little nervous breakdown real quick. I was like, I got so flustered. And then I was like, shoot, I'm up like right now. I was like, shit, like let's go. I was like getting all worked up from everyone else's matches. Yeah, but that's another tip. The best way to be a good teammate is to worry about yourself.
Right. Preach that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
Get too caught up in other people's matches and you start getting tired. And sometimes you just got to get yourself completely out of the gym.
And then other times, like for me, I would watch the finals every year. Me and Mark Hall would go sit in the stands and watch the finals until we went to warm up. It would just relax me. I don't know, get me like used to the environment a little bit.
There's also adrenaline, I got to imagine, when your teammates are winning.
Yeah.
That it gives you that, because like, you can see them. And I think the best sporting experience I've ever had was Penn State beating Ohio State when Ohio State's wearing robes.
Yeah, I'd
Like,
say so.
That was like, for me, like I've been Bills games, Yankee games, NCAAs, the Open, like whatever, World Championships in Vegas in 2015. And still, like, that duel was electric. And watching you guys like watch each other, like Nolf on crutches, like hobbling around, dancing, like there was I've never seen anything like that. Like the adrenaline from one guy to the next.
That's sweet.
Yeah. I mean, for me though, like whenever I'd be wrestling like at nationals or anything like that, I like the two guys wrestling before me, I was never nervous for their matches. It was Nolf and Zane. Like pretty much in our dual meets, once like 141 was up, I'm like, I'm up next.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, everybody listening, go follow all three of them if you're not already following them. They're all competing soon. Cenzo starts it off next Saturday. Next Saturday, right? Next Saturday at the last
One of those
chance.
days.
Yeah, I think it's Saturday. I don't know.
Friday or Saturday or Sunday, probably.
Friday, Saturday, or Sunday at the last chance.
One of those days.
Then he's going to win that. Then he'll join Peyton at the Olympic trials April 2nd and 3rd. And then Matt McCutcheon is making his freaking return to the mat end of April. Exact date to be decided. Likely after tax day, before Memorial Day.
They'll probably let us know the week before.
Yeah. Tax day, they'll probably is a good day for an announcement for that.
I'd say so.
They're going to announce it. It's April 24th. So go follow Matt. Go follow Peyton. Go follow Cenzo. Guys, thank you all.
Later.
Bye.
See you guys.
And the beat goes on.